let us start with our keynote addresses. I request Father Dr. Paul to welcome Dr. Prashant Maheshwari, Dean, Science and Technology, Rashtra Tukroji Maharaj, Nagpur University, with a floral bouquet.
Thank you, Father. I would now request our principal, Dr. Surendra Goe, to give a floral welcome to Mr. Shashikant Chowdhury, co-founder, Babyverse serial entrepreneur and angel investor. Thank you, sir. I now request Professor R.B. Govardhan to welcome Mr. Prasad Pendharkar, Delivery Partner, Cyber Security Practice, TCS Nagpur.
We also have with us Ms. Bani Dhawan, Head of Education South Asia, Google India in online mode. I welcome you, ma'am. I would now request Dr. Prashant Maheshwari to present his keynote on Education 4.0. Do you have the collar mic? If I can speak from here.
The director of this institute, Father Paul, mentor of the institute, Professor Govardhan, principal, Dr. Gore, my teacher once upon a time, and now a big industrialist, venture capitalist, Shri Shashikanji Chaudhary, Madam Natarajan, and all my dear friends who are sitting here, and dear students. And because Shashikanji Chaudhary is there, so because he is from the academia and industry both, I know that wherever I overstep, he will pardon me. Next slide, please. And at the outset, I congratulate the administrators and the principals of all the engineering colleges that this time their admission is full as the sanction intake given to them is. And moreover, now there are a lot of students who are in line to seek the admission in all these engineering colleges. To tell you, this is very important in the present of industry, that the pandemic has gone and now the engineering colleges have sufficient students. So now you can again look at us so that we can work together to see that majority of our students are placed into the better industries. Before I start, I would like to give you a brief about National Education Policy. You must be knowing that the National Education Policy 2020 is introduced on 29 July 2020 by the Honorable Prime Minister of India, and this has the 5 cardinal principles. The earlier policy introduced was in 1986, so exactly after 34 years, this National Education Policy is introduced, wherein there are 5 principles: access, equity, quality, accountability and affordability. So our entire discussion, which all the panelists and we will be making, somewhere or other will be related to these 5 points. Earlier policy had only the access and equity. This policy has introduced 3 more principles. One important point which I would like to touch here is the gross enrollment ratio, which the Honorable Prime Minister and the entire country wants, that this gross enrollment ratio, which today is 27%, should reach to 50% by 2035. And the entire responsibility of making it in reality is on the shoulders of we teachers, students and the industry, and that's why exactly industry academia interface. Now the question comes, when we got freedom in the 1947, the gross enrollment ratio was 0.7%. In this journey of 75 years, the gross enrollment ratio has increased from 0.7 to 27, and now we have been given a very difficult task to make it double in just 15 years. By 2035, we want this to be 50%. If you see here on the screen that the gross enrollment ratio of USA is 83, Russia 80, Japan and UK 70, Malaysia is 40%, China is 50%. So our target is making it 50. Now the question comes, when I have to make the gross enrollment ratio to the tune of 50%, currently in higher education, there are 3.5 crore students. Now these 3.5 crore students will become 10 crore if I have to make the gross enrollment ratio 50%. Why 10 crore? Because in these 15 years, the population also will increase. So now the responsibility of making these 10 crore students in terms of the gross enrollment ratio means, just imagine that whatever infrastructure, manpower, logistics, buildings, brick and mortar type of setup, which is available today only for 27% of the students, it is required to be exactly doubled. Where is the space? We do not have the space even to make the 3-lane or 2-lane highway to 6-lane. So where is the space we can do all this? And therefore, and manpower, you just imagine that a lot of money of the government gets incurred into the salary of the teachers. And the question of salary is even not there. But then can we do this miracle within next 15 years to make it 50%? And therefore the online and online distance education comes into picture. Next. And when I say that the online and online distance learning education has to come into picture, I'll give you a very good example of the IIT Chennai. That IIT Chennai has started an online degree course BSc in data science and programming. And this course is completely online based on the entrance examination. Even for the entrance examination, they are having their online courses which are available, wherein for assignments you have to submit online and the proctored examination will be there. This assignment and proctored examination together with some minimum condition of passing, joint passing, will make you eligible to take admission into that BSc data science or BSc computer programming course. Can you believe that in this course 30,000 students having, when it was introduced first, the awareness was not to that extent amongst the students. Even then, 30,000 students in the first year of this course gave the entrance examination, out of which 16,000 students cleared the examination. See, 14,000 students could not clear. Just try to understand, because I have very little time to interact with you. So you have to understand many things from my deliberations. And out of 16,000, 12,000 students joined this course. Now everything you can understand, a degree given by the IIT Madras, the student will be called as the alumni of IIT Madras. There is no meaning in talking about the placement. Placement will 100% be done. When an IIT Madras can do this for only one course of BSc, programming separately and data science separately, there are 23 IITs, more than 30 NITs, triple ITs, IISRs. If all these big organizations can start doing the online courses, and you know that what are the benefits of the online courses, and a very few nuances of the online courses are there that we don't have time to discuss. In this particular case, the government of India also has taken the decision that top 100 NIRF institutions can start their online degree. Even the universities which have 3.26 and above CGPA in NAC can start the online degree. So in this particular case, when, say for example, the University of Nagpur has to start the online degree, starting some degree by the IIT is something different. They have brand, they have image, they have goodwill, not nationally but also internationally. But starting it by some institute here at the Nagpur, some state university, needs the immense help from the industry. Because the kind of courses which we have to provide, if are not certified by the industry, that this type of course, if it's done by your student, will get the employment, that course will not have any value. Because why am I education? I am taking the education. इतने सारे बच्चे बैठे हैं, आप engineering क्यों कर रहे हैं? Ultimate aim of you getting this degree is either to get employment, or to go for higher education, or to become entrepreneur. ये तीन ही आपके उद्देश्य हैं. And the major aim is to get the employment. And if I am launching an online degree which does not fetch the employment, is of no use, and that's why there is an immense importance of intervention from the industry with the academia to start with the courses. Next, what are the challenges? You must have heard about Dr. Swati Piramal from the Piramal Education Foundation. When I was there for the panel discussion, I was present in the panel discussion. Then there we found that we discussed on the same topic, and some of these challenges she has come out with. Multilingual accessible learning management system. Here the AICT has come with the courses which are in the 12 Indian languages. AICT has already launched it. Around 11 courses, around 9 courses for the engineering and 11 courses for the polytechnic has already been launched for the first year by the AICT. Then phygital learning experience, physical and digital. Enable adoption, retention and completion of courses. You must have observed that there are a lot of students and the teachers who join the course. If I have seen, I have the experience of NPTEL, 1 lakh students have joined the course, only 10,000 students appear for the examination because only 10,000 students enroll for the examination. So this enable adoption, retention and completion of courses, create engaging, immersive learning experience, link peer learners to create strong learning communities, improve quality of instructions on the digital platform. You and me are witness, the students and teachers are witness that what quality of the online learning platform we have and we could deliver, and half of the time the student never understood what I am delivering, and half of the time I did not get any response from the student whether he is studying or whether he is understanding or not. Next. The second important point which I want to put before this house is that there are, you must have heard the name of, all the teachers at least have heard, the Benjamin Bloom's taxonomy. 1956, the Benjamin Blooms have given the taxonomy for the defense organizations of the USA and then to the schools, then it came to India. There are three types of domains of learning: cognitive domain of learning, psychomotor domain of learning, and affective domain of learning. I will talk about only the cognitive domain of learning. As you can see from this slide that cognitive domain of learning is a knowledge-based domain, involves intellectual and thinking skill. It has to do something with the thought process which you have, thinking skills which you have. Next. And this cognitive domain of learning has 6 levels. The bottommost level is remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. We teachers, what give to the student is only lower 3 levels of domains of cognitive domain of learning. You just take one question paper, you see the answer they are giving. Every question paper asked, majority of the questions asked in the questions are of 3 level. Either they are remember level or they are understand level. At the most, they are at apply level. Even the apply level questions are not more than 2 or 3 out of 10 in the question paper. So, and what industry needs is, industry want the students who have the capability to analyze, evaluate and create. And analyze, evaluate and create are higher level of cognitive domain of learning, can be inculcated in the students only by performance based learning. Mini project, major project, industrial visit or seminars or something which makes you think, which makes you design and develop, which makes you analyze. When I am not giving the students or the graduates in engineering which the industry want, then my profile and the profile of the industry does not match. In that case, therefore the people say, NASSCOM says, SOCHM says, FICCI says that the employability of the engineering student is hardly 2 out of 5, sometimes 3 out of 5. But then for this entirely the academia cannot be blamed. Whatever the engineers are coming out of this system are to be taken by the industry. So the academia and industry are jointly responsible for the type of output which the academia is giving and which becomes the type of input to the industry. Therefore, we need to come together to find out that how do we develop the analyze, evaluate and create. I have given one beautiful example here in this hall itself, that let us have the flipped learning. Whatever I am teaching here in the class should be studied by the student at home, and whatever I am giving them the assignments, mini project, major project, industrial visit for their home assignment should be taught here, should be discussed here. If not taught, should be discussed here. The moment we flip this side, so remember, understand and apply are getting developed at home. I will provide him the complete resources. Complete timetable will be made in such a way that the student knows where from to study, from which page to study, which book to study, who is the writer and of what edition, which website is to be seen, which URL from which minute to which minute should be seen. Even that will be given. Digital object identifier of the research paper even will be mentioned. And this entire resources I give to the students, post on my website. The students read everything at home, and when they come first Monday of every week, we will have the conceptual discussion based on what I have given him to read at home. And then everything related to which is time independent. Limited time examination never provides an opportunity to inculcate higher order of the cognitive domain of learning, that is analyze, evaluate, create. This cannot be inculcated among the students in the limited time examination. 3 hours examination, ye question solve karna hai. Then we have to solve the questions which ultimately attribute to remember, understand and to some extent apply. Therefore, I again request to the industry that please help us to see that we provide them in the curriculum performance-based activities or activity-based teaching. You suggest us what are the activities we should take so that these higher level of cognitive domain of learning, analyze, evaluate and create are inculcated among the students, and your burden of training them into the industry for another 6 months after graduation will reduce down, your cost will reduce down. Next. We were talking there in the conference room about these areas. There was a committee constituted under the chairmanship of Dr. Murthy, ex-director of the IIT Hyderabad, and Dr. Murthy happens to be the alumni of the Material Science Department of VNIT. And then he was given the task that you find out the areas, thrust areas, wherein a lot of job opportunities are available to the student for next 10 years. And after rigorous discussions and deliberations, these 9 areas which each student and each teacher sitting here knows about, that these 9 areas have come up, that committee has come up with, and these 9 areas, every out of 33 engineering colleges here, 32 engineering colleges have the BTech courses in these areas. They have MTech courses in these areas, and probably that is the reason that our admissions, the engineering colleges admission throughout the country, especially in the region of Vidarbha, are exceeding the sanctioned intake limit given by the AICTE. Why? Because we have provided these emerging area programs to the students. Next. But then we have provided, the All India Council for Technical Education has provided these emerging area programs. Still there are a lot of challenges. And wherever I am writing challenges, I believe the academia has to work together, hand in gloves with the industry, or rather industry has to take the upper hand. University has made a provision that in each and every committee, whether that is a research recognition committee, that is board of studies, academic council, management council, board of research, whatever incubation, everywhere the industry personnel is there. Even the university gives the grant for the students and the teachers under Rajiv Gandhi Science and Technology Commission. Even there are 2 industry people from the Vidarbha Industries Association are there. So industry people are involved everywhere. Even in the autonomous colleges, Professor Sachin Untwale and Dr. Gode will agree with me that everywhere in your board of studies, in your academic council, governing board, everywhere there are people from the industry, and they are renowned people. People like Shashikanji Chaudhary, people like sir from the metro. There are people, Rizwan Ahmed sir is there, and then sir is there. They are all, those who are sitting here are all there in the board of studies. He is there in the board of studies of more than 5 to 6 colleges, 7 colleges. In spite of this, if we are not able to meet the challenges, then the time has come that the industry and academia should sit together and find out as to how we can make the dream of Honorable Prime Minister of India to take this gross enrollment ratio from 27 to 50 is possible. These are the challenges, as I told you. Strong education leadership in the country for transformation. A big transformation is required for the leadership of the institution, for the teachers even. Teachers have not still come into the mode of the transformation. Sometimes it surprises me, we the teachers do not know what is the meaning of 1 credit. When we talk a lot about the credit-based system, but then we do not know sometimes what is the meaning of credit. When it is 2 hours of practical, how many credit? When 1 hour of theory or tutorial, how many credits? Reasonably strong compute access to learners, especially in tier 4 cities. Strong, robust internet bandwidth access. Developing relevant multi-model dynamic digital content. Today, one of the guests have spoken that slide-based, transcript-based days of the online education through slides and the transcripts are over. Now either we have to give the animated content, gamified content, we have to give them some brain teasers, question and answer session, short stories, like the videos or online education we have to do. Otherwise, we are going to face the problem. Support synchronous learning programs with a strong tech enablement. Strong learning management programs that is secure, user-friendly, where digital classroom on the cloud itself, invest in very robust testing and assessment capability, making the exam to go to the student's location. This we were just talking with Madam Natarajan there in the conference. Nurture the interaction pattern between the teacher and student. This is very much needed. The kind of relationship which a teacher should have with the student is still not evolved to its maximum extent. Whenever some students tries to ask the question, we consider that over smart, and then we give him or her a treatment that next time he or she does not ask the question. And Professor Rizwan has one very good example to quote, and he quoted when we were coming together. So he used to sit at the front bench, started sitting at the back bench after asking 2 questions and got the treatment. So we, the teachers and the students, not students, especially the responsibility is more on the shoulder of teachers to evolve the relationship between student teachers. Next. What steps, I'm telling you so much, but then what the university is doing for where I am responsible for the Faculty of Science and Technology. Introduction of emerging area programs. It gives me an immense happiness to tell you that we have constituted the independent board of studies for the emerging areas in science and technology. And in science, we have started BSc Data Science. I already told you that 32 colleges have already started the courses in emerging area in the BTech, and some of the colleges started in MTech. Degree with major and minor. The university has, say for example, I am from a mechanical engineer. I am a mechanical engineering student, and I want to do some courses in artificial intelligence, data science, machine learning, or all the 9 emerging areas which I have mentioned here. Then the university has provided me guidelines that BTech mechanical engineering with minor in artificial intelligence. BTech honors in mechanical engineering with major in data science. A student has to do 18 to 20 additional credits over the duration of 8 semesters. 20 credit means 3 credit each, 6 subjects. So you have to complete 6 subjects of a particular domain, which has already been defined by the university. 33 domain over 8 branches, 233 core courses and 334 elective courses syllabus is already there in the university, which is only for minor and major courses or the honors courses, and you will get the degree that BTech honors in mechanical engineering with major in data science. Like these degrees you will get. So that university has already done. Lifelong learning and continuous education programs. We have a full-fledged setup wherein we are running 139 courses, which a student does, certificate course, diploma course, post-diploma course, immediately he gets the job. The employers are ready. I don't say that he will get the job of 25,000 or 30,000, but if he does a course of 6 months certificate by the Horiba pharmaceutical company, then he is likely to get the job of 10 to 15,000 rupees. Constituted, this I have already, up to 40% courses in a semester can be through online. As I was narrating to the Madam Natarajan, that from 20 to 23, the university has made a provision that all the graduate courses, BA, BCom, BSc, only 50% of the courses will be core, which are to be passed compulsorily. Remaining 50% of the course you can take from anywhere in the world, if that is a recognized platform, and then the moment you earn this 50% credit, say for example, there are 120 credits in 3 years, 60% credits earned from the university, 60% credits if you earn from anywhere in the world, immediately because your credits are deposited in the academic bank of credit, all the 120 credits will be redeemed and the degree will be given to you. University is, the AICT has permitted to take 40%, up to 40% of the courses in a semester in online mode. So there are 5 subjects in a semester, 2 subjects you can take in online mode. That flexibility even is given. Whether we use that flexibility is not as a different issue, but then flexibility is there. University is very soon coming with a skill development center of rupees 23 crores along with the IT hub, where the students will be doing the software, they'll preparing the software, and the software will be sold by the university itself. 8th semester is dedicated to internship, I already told. And we have, it happened first time in the university that all the board of studies chairmen, members, and the academic council members were given rigorous training in the university, not once, twice, thrice, 6 times, to bring them to the level which, where the UGC is, where the AICT is. Outcome-based education, target setting and attainment, Bloom's taxonomy, everything is the training being, major, minor, the training is given to the teachers and students to see that we are at the same level, what UGC, AICT and university is thinking, and what we teachers are thinking, and those who are the policy makers should be aligned. With this, I extend my sincere thanks to the organizers. It was a little fast, but then because I had to cover the contents. पूरा करना है ना, तो हम teacher हैं, तो 1 घंटे के अंदर पूरा करना है, तो पूरा करना ज़रूरी है. So that's what I did. If you did not understand that, I am going to leave this slides here itself. You can go later. These are the courses which I have mentioned. 33 domains. Next slide, please. 33 domains, 237 electives, and 334 core courses syllabus has been designed only for major and minor. Forget about the other BTech regular 160 credits. ये 18 से 20 credit के लिए already designed.
I would now request Mr. Shashikant Chaudhary to address us on Industry 4.0.
Hello. Yeah. So good afternoon, everybody, and all dignitaries sitting in the front rows. And it's very difficult to compress your kind of a speech which you prepared, in 10 minutes of time. And we have a fine balance of women sitting in front, and as well as the young person, Mr. Ketan Pedankar, sitting over there. Most difficult problem for me is most of my colleagues whom I studied with, they are with me, and they are saying that each speaker has taken 20 minutes. You have to make sure that you finish in 5 minutes. I said better would be I don't speak. But I'll just try to do a justice. There is a lot of visual element to it. So let's begin. I'm supposed to be speaking on Industry 4.0, and there are a lot of visual stuff also, so you'll enjoy that piece. So that's where we are in, between the man and machine. That's where the stage we are in the Industry 4. Actually speaking, we are already getting into Industry 5.0. And that's where these are the cyber physical systems, and we'll get into this mass customization in a given point of time. This is what is looking ahead. What is the scenario which is going to be unfolding in course of time, which are already seeing, from 20 billion to 90 billion, PlayStations having a power of supercomputing, and any product that can be digitized is in problem. And next 25 years, it will be equivalent to, 3 centuries. This is a slide I want you to look at. By 2023, $1,000, we'll have a human brain. We'll achieve human brain at 1 cent by 2037. We'll have achieved the human race capability at $1,000 by 2049. And we achieve the entire human race capability at 1 cent. That's where the industry is already moving. That's the breakneck speed with which we are already moving. एक मिनट, अरे पीछे में आओ, वो उधर से भी कर रहा है, मैं इधर से भी कर रहा हूँ. Yeah, this is automation working in sync. And these are called the cobots. I will come to that. This is like, the people and the bots working here. So we are at this point in the journey. And as you can see, that computer performance is going to be much ahead in the course of time. What's about Industry 4.0? Are we there? I think we are already there. We are already getting into 5.0. These are the systems people talk about, and enough of discussion on this kind of technologies. The unique piece is going to be the velocity, scope, and impact. There is no precedent to it. Whatever we are going to see is unimaginable. Nobody knows how far, what is the depth, what is the width. It is just like swimming in the ocean, and that too in the dark, and then there is a storm, and you can't see the seashore. Or aapko bas, you have to swim very hard, and in the hope that you will get to the other side of the shore. You never know, you will be in the middle of ocean. And it's almost disrupting every industry in the country. This is very interesting. Just look at robots, what's happening with them. We teach them, but they become our masters in the due course of time. They start competing with us. And that's happened with the chess robots and all other things which we talked about. But let's see, in the 13 years, what the Boston Dynamics, these were the people working at NASA, and when they were working on the robotic kind of program, they had to shut down the program, and these people came out, and they started working on the robotics. Let's see. Just press the enter. And now we all will be playing the catch-up game. You know, all the entire race, humanity, they are all going to play this catch-up game. There is a video because it just says that there are 10 jobs that didn't exist before. I'm not getting there because of the short of time, but again, I use those videos because I knew that at least that sound can make you after the lunch. This is what I was talking about, the cobots. We are going to be in a system where, you know, the people are going to be working with the bots. And that's going to be a very interesting scenario. Let's see, this video is a little interesting. So this is scary. Just press enter. This is a robot writing a program by itself, right? So you have a problem definition on the left-hand side, and there is a robot which writes a program which almost to the extent of 90% does the job. And that's where the industry is already moving. The bots are writing the program for the bots, right? And the bots will be manufacturing the next generation bots. And that's where the scenario is. You know, the industry expectation is somewhere here. There is this Godzilla, which is at the back, and it's a scary time. And everybody said there is going to be a job displacement moment. A lot of automation is going to come in, and people are going to be jobless. That's a lot of arguments that those are made with those kind of scenarios. And every time, you know, you see the chronology. Every time a new thing, a new innovation came in, people said, no, this is going to take the jobs away. Look at this. Writing, printing, books, weaving machine, telephones will kill face-to-face meetings, Artificial intelligence, it's an interesting photograph over there. AI can't still make it. It says that the cow length is 18 feet because it has, the head on this side and the body on that side, and computer is being trained on that, so it still says that 18 feet wide. And that's where we are going to be in the telemigration. The job says that almost 800 million jobs are going to be, I would say, displaced or lost. I mean, some people say lost, some people will say change, some people will say displaced. And that's going to be a combination that's going to happen. And that's where, we are going to have this combination of, instead of, we already have a data cloud, we are going to be talking about human cloud. And human cloud working together with the data cloud, that's the whole world getting into the picture, right? Because the people might be sitting anywhere in the country, anywhere in the globe, right? And there will be this other side of the people where the data is going to be hosted on the cloud. So there are two clouds operating, and we get this Dr. Square like Prashant Maheshwari, right? He's the double PhD. These are the jobs which are at risk. That's what I said, the percentage of the jobs in terms of like from the food preparation going up to the teaching, which is close to 25%. Which are the jobs which will be least affected? And they are saying that recognizing this, caring, which has a lot of empathy, where you are going to be interpersonal kind of stuff, a lot of creative and complex reasoning when you are going to deal with emotions in the given context. That's very important. That requires creativity. And computers are not trained for that. Computers are trained for the context which was already there, right? So for the new context, they are not trained. So they can only deal with the situations where there was already predefined context, somebody trained it, and then the robot started operating it. But the moment the context and emotions comes together, the job becomes extremely difficult. And that's where the jobs are not going to go. Managing people in the HR and social interactions. Let's see. There's a fear for job displacement. What happened? In 1900, 41% of the US workforce, they were in the farming. Just remained 2%. But what happened? All these farming jobs went from farming to manufacturing and manufacturing to the services. And the economy still grew. Not a problem. If you look at the, I'll come about this. I mean, this is what is going to happen. The new tech, the automation will increase the productivity, it will lower the cost, which will increase the demand, opens up a new market, new possibilities, and there were, all these people who didn't have an access to that kind of technology or that kind of resource are going to be new set of customers. Otherwise, we would have stuck to only 70 million people. We are talking about 800 million people. That's where the new possibilities are going to be there. And this has been proved up to a number of times. The jobs are now, whenever the automation, for example, Merlin Steels is one of the examples out of the US. They were doing this wire manufacturing, iron manufacturing, the wire manufacturing. And there was competition coming from China. These people were under threat. They automated the stuff, and they started creating the bags out of those wires and started supplying to Boeing and all those people. In one decade, they doubled the productivity, they doubled the employment, and the rate per dollar, they used to give like $15 per hour. Every employee was paid $30. Amazon, you just take a case, 2014, they had like 25 warehouses in US. They replaced those 25 warehouses with 1,000, almost like 1 lakh robots, not 1 lakh. 1 lakh robots they replaced. And just look at Amazon, the same facilities, 5 years, 10 years down the line. The jobs, they were employing 40,000 people. And they started employing 1,25,000 people. And 5,000 people are vacancies still with Amazon at that point in time. So, the automation doesn't necessarily kill the jobs. They will displace the jobs. And temporarily, there is going to be a problem for sure. Because the speed at which the things are coming and the speed at which the people are getting trained, there is going to be a gap. That's where the problem is going to come in. And therefore, what will happen? These are the kind of likely scenarios. You'll have high skill, high pay, and low skill and low pay. That's where the migration is going to happen. As I said, mismatch creation of the semi-professional jobs. So there will be jobs between the doctor and nurse. There will be a job between the lawyer and paralegal. There will be a job between the architect and draftsman. What will happen is, because of the AI and all other stuff, these people are going to get powered by a lot of informations, pattern analysis. Most of these jobs could be done by in-between people. And that's where we'll see that semi-professional jobs. Business will require a flexible workforce. Gone are the days. The people will have to rearrange the way they produce. Their systems are going to be like, they will have the teams coming on demand. And the team will go back. Permanent hiring, nobody knows. The industry 4.0 and 5.0, more or less, it's a flexible business systems also. And they have to adapt to those systems. Just a very interesting example, a very sort of a very casual. You have a Coke can or any kind of edible, you throw it into the kind of a dustbin. Simple mechanism, simple thing. But what is going to happen because of so much of interconnectedness, so much of the sensors being put, this cost of technology going down, what is going to happen that each dustbin is going to know how many empty cans were thrown. And for each locality they will know, for each city they will know, each state they will know, and correspondingly the production will be adjusted. That's what is going to happen. And that's where the flexible systems in terms of manufacturing will come. Employment will be short term. Everybody is expected to do at least 13 to 17 jobs in his career now. So gone are the days, एक job में अंदर आ गए, 2 job, 3 job. 13 jobs minimum, 17 they are predicting. Every 2 years, that's going to change. How to prepare? I mean, explosion of internet-based resources, very cheap, micro-credentials, people are going to look for a specific skill, acquire that skill, and go to the next level. Even IITs, I was talking to Dr. Murthy, he was referring to, they have created a system where the people can come in and they did not finish the course. They can come in for a particular lecturer, take a particular credit and go away. Up to that system, because those are the kind of needs that are going to be required in the industry, because something comes in the horizon. I don't want to spend 3 years again. I want to spend just 3 days or maybe the weekends for a month and I should be ready. Learn, repeat 10 times. The good part is for the high-tech people, AI still have to be taught, right? All the models have to be created first. They have to be trained. Some people are going to be always required to train the AI. So training the AI is not going to go out of the league. Stop planning to stay ahead. More challenging, stay relevant. That's going to be the game. Last slide. Sometimes nothing happens in decades. And then comes the time when decades happen in the year. That's time. Welcome to Fifth Revolutions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for making us aware about the importance and consequences of Industry 4.0. I now request Mr. Prasad Pendharkar to address us on cybersecurity and IoT 4.2.
Good afternoon all. I welcome all of you for, I will be covering session on cybersecurity IoT 4.0. So basically I will be focusing more on cybersecurity, IoT and OT technologies. Okay. So topic that I would be covering is current cyber threat to industries, key trends that driving the OT cybersecurity, then IT OT holistic view, and the enabling technologies for IoT 4.0, and what are the steps that industry is taking to take care of the infrastructure and the devices and on the industries. Okay. So if you see the current cyber attacks, so recently in last week we have seen that the AIM servers were hacked. Okay. the ransomware attack happened there, and there close to 4 or 5, 6 servers out of 50 servers were hacked by the ransomware hacker, okay? And that has disrupted their entire patient management system, okay? And they were having more than 10,000 virtual servers also. So immediate steps they have taken, they have shut down the internet system, and then they have started recovering those, okay? So that is the immediate example. And last year also we have seen that SpiceJet entire operations were haywire, okay? They could not do any operation for 6 hours, okay? They were also been attacked through a ransomware attack, okay? And if I tell you for the industry, manufacturing industries like Merck or the Mondelez, they have got their manufacturing establishment attacked through the ransomware, malware, and their entire plant were shut down for 2 weeks, okay? That has disrupted their entire supply chain, okay? And they have incurred huge losses, close to 500 million USD, okay? So, and other than that, there are data breaches also. Air India, close to 45 lakhs passenger data hacked. So this is the reason why cybersecurity is very important in every area of the industries, the various industries, okay? Now let's see the latest trends that those are driving OT security as Industry 4.0, Industry IoT, then cloud and mobility. Now the industries and the people are moving from regular server or EDP to the cloud and mobility, okay? And in the space of automation and process management, the industry IoT is taking care. So it is estimated that close to 41.6 billion devices will be interconnected by 2025. So that means ki those will be in public domain and they will be using internet as a basic media to interconnect, okay? Now when we talk about, we all know IT systems, okay? Everyone is dealing with colleges, everyone is doing that. But what is important is the other area, that is operation technology, OT or operational technology. These are the area where earlier they used to have work in silo, okay? Their manufacturing plants were not interconnected to the internet. They were not sending the data to their headquarters, okay? So that's the reason now they, as the need of the hour is, everyone wants on the fingertips, manufacturing data, their entire life cycle. So this IIoT and IoT, those comes into the picture. And now they are being hooked to the internet, through internet. So that's where their security is also very important. If you see the sensor, cameras, embedded, robots, so all they are into automation, okay? So they are the starting point at the manufacturing plants, okay? And they are interconnecting through cloud or edge networks, okay? So if we can able to control all this IT as well as OT, then only we can ensure that entire cyber security that organization can ensure, okay? So what are the important pillars we should focus or industry should focus? So first is the people. So the people who are at the organization, they should be well aware their roles, responsibility, what are the things they need to take care in case of any cyber attacks, okay? And then next is the process. So ideally process has to be in place at the first place. Then only the respective people, they can utilize, they can go through that and they can take the actions. Then comes the technology. Technology is very much important nowadays. It's starting when we are moving to cloud, the identity access management, then security operations center. So all this required a specified tools and applications. So the people should know the technology part of it. Without technology, they are not able to take care of the cyber security, and overall cyber security of the organization will go for a task. So these are the 3 important areas where every organization should focus. Okay. Now we'll see Industry 4.0 enabling technology. So as I mentioned, the basically IoT, those are consisting of the sensors, smart devices, which are used by manufacturing devices as well as medical field also. So they are part of the physical components. When we say cyber physical systems, so they comes under the physical components, and the network, internet, cloud, they forms the virtual layer, okay? And when both are integrated, then it becomes the cyber physical systems, okay? So nowadays, those are sending the data to the secured area where data analytics people are working on it, and then desired results are being taken care by the different stakeholders. Okay, there is a human component, but that is a very less has presence. But majority is between this virtual as well as these physical components. Okay, now the key challenges for IoT 4.0 is their data needs to be shared. Okay, data is shared across the devices are spread out in the globe, correct, and they are continuously sharing because they don't have the much capacity to store the data. So that's the reason they are continuously sending the data. So that has also given the chances of points of attack because stakeholders are many more, okay, and the hacker can intercept in between and then he can hack it, okay. And as I mentioned, the conversion of IT and OT is very thin line is there in between IT and OT, okay. So these are the very important things, key challenges that currently 4.0 cybersecurity from per se, it is there. Okay. Now we'll see the security trends and what are the risks for OT infrastructure. Okay. So first most is the industries are using legacy system. That means they are using the systems with the OS, say Windows 98, 2000, that kind of things. And their critical applications are hosted on this. And they are having the known vulnerabilities which are already known to the hackers also and industry also. So what they are taking is they are not able to replace them with the new OS because they have got dependency on their automation things. Okay, unless and until entire system is replaced, they cannot move that. So that is one area, risk area for every organization which is in manufacturing thing. Then they are still using the old Wi-Fi devices with old protocols. Okay, so hacker can immediately hack your Wi-Fi devices. Okay. And when we say advanced persistent threat, is nothing but basically a group of people, they are targeting to hack the entire network or entire server farm. So these are the things. And what measures, another important thing is the till today 75% organization, they don't have the skilled people with cybersecurity expertise. That is the important pain area for all the industry. They can safeguard servers, they can take the network, but where are the people who are monitoring it or who are managing it? So that is the key risk for current industry. Okay. Then currently industry is moving to security hardware device. So what they are doing is basically they are putting the next gen firewall. So what they are doing is they will measure the traffic and monitor at the entry or exit level itself. Okay. Then next is the security by design. Security by design means nowadays whosoever is manufacturing the IoT devices, he will ensure that all the relevant testing has been done with respect to loopholes in the code, in the hardware module. So they will be ready by security by design so that there will be less chance when they comes into the production or in the manufacturing field or in the use. Okay. And industry has started investing in skill talent. So this is the initiatives that industry has taken, and now it is giving us the required results. Okay. So what are the measures that we should take, all should take as an industry? Okay. First is the governance. Okay. So big organizations, usually what happens, the policies are there at the headquarters. Okay. But when it comes to the manufacturing plant or remote plants, then nobody is there who is having that particular details. So it is very less that the people at the plant level or the remote level, he don't have the required policies and so. So that is the first thing that needs to be taken into consideration. Second is the risk assessment. So every industry should know what are their critical assets. Those needs to be first identified. Then it becomes very difficult. If they don't know the critical asset, then they cannot, there is chances that the monitoring will not be there. So risk assessment is another area where people should know. Then nowadays, the people, industry, cybersecurity expert industries are basically taking care of the intrusion detection system, IDS, IPS. So they are at a network level. So at entry and exit point itself, they will see that what is the traffic that is coming here. And if any anomaly is found, then they will immediately stop it at that level itself. Okay. Then another thing is the network segmentation. We usually see that at education institute or any offices, we have got the offices with the different areas. Those are demarcated by physically, but they are not network through, they are not logically separated. Okay. So network segmentation is what the industry is currently doing. So that helps us if in case any anomaly, any virus or ransomware attacks to one department, it can be immediately stopped at that level itself. And the other departments or other networks can be safely, they can work, okay? And apart from that, big industries and the organization, they are taking care of the security operation center. So what is exactly happening is these cybersecurity experts are monitoring data 24/7, okay? And all the critical data that has been brought to a single control center. Usually they call it as a command control center also, or security operations SOC center, where IoT, OT, IT, entire data has been bring to that central location. And there this expert team is monitoring. And if anything goes wrong, immediately they can take the action. So that is the advantage of it. But overall, all this, I feel the increasing the awareness, that is a very much important thing that needs to be taken care at industry level, organization, big organization or small organization. Unless and until people are have the awareness, then they will not be able to report the incident also. So that will help to have the awareness, and then people can take action, and then the subject matter expert, they can take the actions. So with this, I feel with all these things in place, we should be able to take the cyber security to the next level and can protect our assets and the organization's critical things. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. I request Father Dr. Paul to felicitate Dr. Prashant Maheshwari. Thank you, Father. I request Father Siju to felicitate Mr. Shashikant Chaudhary.
Thank you, Father. I would now request Dr. Manoj Brahme to felicitate Mr. Prasad Pendharkar.
Thank you, sir.